Hey, hello everyone, this is Rutik and it's your day 47th of Finding Job series. So let's start. Let me tell you what I learned today and what not. So as usual, I woke up at 7 and after that I did some exercise, got ready and sat at my desk. Today I'll learn about the concept called scope. We all know about the scope, but yeah, let me tell you. Scopes in one line like where I am accessible my variable. Okay, when I declare any variable, where where I'm able to accessible it. Okay, so this is the basic definition of uh, scope, we can say. And yeah, let me tell you about scope. Okay, so we have three main type of a scope, like a global scope, functional scope and the block scope. Global scope means the variable accessible throughout the functions or throughout the our code, like when I declare let a is equal to 10. Okay, and again after that I have any function, so inside that function I'm able to do like a console.log a, it's accessible there. Inside any block, like I have if else block in which also access that a variable. And yeah, it's a global scope. The global execution context is created, and when we see in the browser like a windows.a, so I can get that value of a. So a is accessible throughout the code, so that means it's in the global scope, and we can access it inside the function, inside any block. Okay, so next one is the functional scope or a function scope. What if I write a function in which in global scope I have where a let a is equal to 10, and in function I have the inside function I have let b is equal to 5. And when I call function, after that I am console.log a and then I am console.log b. Console.log a gives us value 10, but console.log b gives us error because b is not accessible, means in the global scope or outside the function. It's only accessible inside the function. When I inside in a, I in which means in the inside the function, when I write the console.log b, that means I am able to get the value of b, but outside it's not accessible. That's why we can say that variable declared in the functions are in the functional scope. And let me tell you, when the functional that function executed, that functional execution context is created, and after the execution it get destroyed, that means the memory inside the function is a temporary memory. Okay, that was the I think important part. So memory inside the function was the temporary memory, and another part was the block scope. So let me tell you what is the block scope. Like we write if then block, or a for loop then block, like that. So what if inside for loop we know we declare the I is equal to 0 and anything, and after the means outside the function, means outside the code or outside the for loop, our I is not accessible. What if it's accessible outside the function as well, and I am able to rechange it or reassign it? That's not the good practice. So block scope exists. uh, I declare anything inside the block, only accessible inside that block. Like if I write anything like if this condition, and inside block I declare any variable, this variable only accessible through this block as well. And let me tell you that let and const are block scope variables, because when we declare in global context also, when we declare var a is equal to 10, let b is equal to 5, let and const c is equal to 10, like that. When we check the global context, in global context a will be stored in the global object, but b and c, which is stored in for let and const, for that new block has been created, and they are stored in that block scope. So while hosting also, when we means write when I write the let and const, and before that if I try to get it, it gives us the error because they are hosted, but for that time zone, like a temporal dead zone, sorry, like when I means call it and I assign it, the time in between they are in hosted state. So also there is one more example, like in block scope I write where a is equal to 10 and let b is equal to 5, and outside the block if I console.log a and b, the a will printed but b is not, because we know var is not in a block scope, but let and const is in block scope. So var will get successfully printed, but b gives us error, so let and const gives us error. Okay, that's it about the scope, global scope, function scope, and block scope. Let me tell you about the scope chain and what is the lexical environment. So if I write a function, inside that function I declare the a is equal to 10. Again, inside that function I write another function, like a inner function. Inside I write a function b is equal to, let b is equal to 5 or 6, anything. And inside inner function I am able to access the outer functions variable as well and the inner function variables as well. But on the outer function I'm only accessible that outer functions variables, not the inner functions variables. Mean the child function have the memory of their parent function as well. That memory all, and also that concept also called as a lexical environment or a lexical memory, and that chain is forming like a parent, then child, then again child, or at the at top is global. So that chain is forming, that chain is also known as the scope chain. So that's it about the scope. After that scope I move on to the heap sort, where I learn about the heap sort algorithm, which is very fascinating. There is a concept called a heapify. In heapify we just like create the max heap or min heap, and then we sort the our array or heap, we can say. And after that I had my lunch, I take a little bit of nap, I went for the walk, and again I resume my project task where I build the functionality of dark mode and light mode. So it was not completed yet, but yeah, I will build it tomorrow, I think so. And after that I applied for some jobs and did communication practice, and yeah, read some books, and nothing special today. So I think that's it for today, and yeah, let's meet tomorrow once again. Bye.